the news fronts. In case you don't know, Archbishop Salvador Cordileone, I just would like to first acknowledge how awesome that name is. Right, so he's all the way on the West Coast, or East Coast, West Coast, thank you. Sorry. So I can, get away with that. I've met the Archbishop. We ended up sort of, by coincidence, at the same conference in Philadelphia. It was back when COVID was still, and the restraints regarding COVID were still in place. So I think we were the only two clerics present in this group. So I got to know him a little bit, though he probably can't remember me at all and has more important things to worry about. But here is what he wrote just a few days ago. I must make a public declaration that Ms. Pelosi, speaking about Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, is not to be admitted to Holy Communion unless and until she publicly repudiate her support for abortion rights and confess and receive absolution for her cooperation in this evil in the sacrament of penance. I have accordingly sent her a notification to this effect, which I have now made public. Speaking to Ms. Pelosi, he says the following: you are not to be admitted to Holy Communion until such time as you publicly repudiate your advocacy for the legitimacy of abortion and confess and receive absolution for this grave sin in the sacrament of penance. A Catholic legislator who supports procured abortion after knowing the teaching of the Church commits a manifestly grave sin, which is a cause of most serious scandal to others. What I want to clarify for you is that in some ways this is not surprising. What's at stake here when it comes to public officials, elected officials, serving and holding public office, is that their support for things like abortion are what we call manifest. That's a specific word meaning known to the parish or some larger community, including a national one. The other necessary point here to consider is that whatever is at stake can't be a minor disagreement or a venial matter, but it has to be with regard to something grave, like abortion. Whatever position that candidate, that person holding public office, serving in that role, whatever position they've taken publicly on the matter, that position has to be persevering, ongoing, and habitual. And more than this, they must have received notification from their local pastor, a priest, or more appropriately in many cases, their chief shepherd, the bishop, so that their position, persevering as it is, manifest, and with regard to a grave evil like abortion, that position must be obstinate, stubborn, continuing over a long period of time with not a change of will, or after a warning or exhortation from a pastor or other church authority. I want to be clear that Speaker Pelosi is not excommunicated, nor is she under interdict. This is an imposition of something we call sacramental discipline. It is within the authority of a bishop, a little toolkit that he has to impose such penalties or disciplines. In this case, speaking directly to the public advocacy of Nancy Pelosi, who also, in the course of making her position clear, invokes her Catholic faith. This is very problematic. I hope I don't need to explain why it's problematic. Even if you disagree with the position of the Church with regard to abortion or other issues related to the dignity of human life, for her to invoke her Catholic faith is a grave problem and has led many to confusion and perplexity. Bishop Cordileone's letter is very sad in its tone. It is not meant to be an angry imposition, a spank on the hand, a cocky and condescending judgment. He's made a decision after repeatedly attempting to convoke a private conference with her, and then in the course of open letters, making his position with regard to his role as her chief shepherd. Nancy Pelosi represents the district of which he has jurisdiction over as the Archbishop of San Francisco, and so has the right to do what he's done in this case. I also want to make clear that the imposition of this penalty, depriving someone or instructing ministers not to give communion to someone like Nancy Pelosi, is not, properly speaking, a sanction or penalty, nor is it the minister of Holy Communion, or the bishop in this case, passing judgment on her soul in subjective disposition. It's simply to say and to bring into relief with a view to have her repent of this position that this penalty has been imposed. And in case it's not clear, it's a grave matter because it involves abortion. It's formal cooperation in advancing the great scourge of abortion, which we consider to be murder. This is what I wanted to clarify with you, to say that I'm in full support of the Archbishop. You're going to hear all kinds of dissent and debate on the matter. I just want you to understand, and the criticism here is going to be that we're weaponizing the Eucharist. Not at all. The Eucharist is a fulcrum of communion. It's all or nothing when it comes to Jesus. Even if you find yourself privately at odds with church teaching, the prayer is that you continue to grow and seek the truth. And as I mentioned before, to give the church the benefit of the doubt with a view to understanding more fully and deeper. Those who are in obstinate, persevering, and manifest opposition to some matter of great importance, it's these people that in the normal course of events don't find themselves presenting themselves for communion, but if they did, should not receive. It's as simple as that. My prayer is that all of us would come to a change of heart in this country, coming to see the dignity, the importance, the precious gift of life. And likewise, that Ms. Pelosi, in and through what's happened in this case, embarrassing as it might be, not an outmoded and medieval imposition of terms, but a clarification of the truth in love, that she too would come once again to embrace the fullness of her faith as a Catholic. She is not excommunicated, still a member of the fold by her baptism, along with all the other controversial politicians and those who hold public office, and also agitating for dissent from church teaching. So I'm happy to receive your emails, comments, questions later on. In the meantime, I'd like to go on to tell you the other church business at stake today. It's raining outside. I was hoping it was going to stop in the course of my announcements here, but it's still raining pretty hard out there. The Parish Council of Catholic Women will meet Monday, May 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Lynn Fatica, who is the Emergency Response Team Coordinator, will give a presentation on the Parish Safety Program. A big thanks to Lynn Fatica. This is an important matter. We should always know, generally speaking, what we're going to do in response to some potential attack on our community during liturgy. Once again, that's May 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Bishop Parks will be here to administer the sacrament of confirmation to our confirmation class on Tuesday, May 24th at 6 p.m. You are all welcome to join us for this event, which is, by definition, a parish one. Vacation Bible School is planned for the week of June 20 through 24th from 9 a.m. until noon for rising kindergartners through 5th grade. Registration is available online. Also, volunteers are needed. It will be fun. If you have any interest in that, please contact the parish office. See the bulletin for more details. God bless you and have a great week. What's that?